As I was sitting in the forest, I heard a noise coming from beyond the shrubbery to my right. At which point, rightfully so, I got up to check on it. When I got through the shrubbery, I was surprised to notice that there were footprints sitting right there on the ground in the dirt. As I examined these footprints, there was a noise that came from behind me. I turned quite quickly and saw nothing. Things are now starting to get rather strange. At which point I questioned myself, should I even continue to search or check where these noises are? But something inside me kept telling me, you need to check, you need to investigate. Now I don't know if it was the right decision or not. I went behind me a couple of feet and started looking through the rest of the shrubbery. I lay there with my mouth agape at the sight of a dead body. My world has now been turned upside down, and I sit here in shock and awe as I stare at this body, lying there, lifeless, empty, a shell of what it once was. Then all of a sudden, I hear some more noise, but this time it's coming from my left. There is no shrubbery on my left, only trees, vast trees for miles on end. At this point, my body started screaming to get out, that I had to run, that if I continued to investigate and follow my instinct to want to find out what exactly is hiding in this forest, that I would never come out. I stuffed my bags as quickly as possible, and I ran towards the direction of my vehicle. As I kept running and running, I kept hearing noises getting closer and closer behind me. I ran and I ran and I ran. I kept running. I didn't bother to look back, for I feared for my life. As I continued to run, the steps got closer and closer and closer. I can hear it, as if he were right behind me. I was tempted to look back, but I just continued to run. At which point I got to my car. I turned around and nothing was there. I took my keys out of my pocket as quickly as possible. They jingled around as I couldn't reach or couldn't find the keyhole of my car. Finally, I opened my car door, get in, turn on my car, and drive away. As I reach the road, I feel I've finally reached civilization, although still around the forest. All of a sudden, I heard a whisper directly next to me in the passenger side of my vehicle. I turned to look and there's nothing there. All I could hear was die, die, die. At this point, I feel like I'm hallucinating. I'm losing my mind, I tell myself. Unfortunately for me, my mobile phone was completely dead and out of batteries. So I had to sit there and contemplate what exactly I heard or witnessed. Turned on my car and continued to drive. I finally reached the town. I decided to stop by the pub to kind of wash away the wallows and the fear that I had while I was sitting in the forest. So I'm sitting there and I begin to drink. Right there next to me, I hear a whisper. Die, die, die. At this point, I know it's not the beer. I know it's not me. I'm not hallucinating, I tell myself. I'm not crazy. I look around to see if anybody else had heard the noise, had heard the whisper. But nothing. I leave the pub. In quite a rush, I'm walking at a good pace. I get in my car and drive back to my hotel. I decide to take a shower to kind of wash the day off of me and pray that I do not hear that voice again. My shower was uneventful. I got out, dried off, got dressed in my pajamas, getting ready for bed. As I look to the mirror while I'm brushing my teeth, right there next to me, yet again I hear the words, die, die, die. I stop brushing my teeth and I drop my toothbrush. And my mirror breaks with a hand reaching out of it as it pulls me directly into the mirror, smashing my nose directly into the cracked glass. I pass out. I wake up the next morning, not realizing what had happened. My nose looks like it's broken. It hurts to breathe, and it hurts to touch. I was bleeding from multiple lacerations to my face. I go to the hospital, and the doctor asks me what happened. And I'm too embarrassed to tell him the truth. So I just tell him I got in a fight at the pub. He believes me. They fixed my neck, and I was sitting there, with bandages across my face and a bruise so big across my forehead, nose, and cheeks that it's just hard to even wince at this point. And I asked the doctor, "Doctor, is there anything diet-wise that I might ingest or drink that would cause me to hallucinate?" "No, not really. Do you do mushrooms? Do you do hardcore drugs?" he asks. I answer, "No, not at all. I'm not a big drug user. I drink the occasional beer or lager or ale, but that's it. And I don't normally drink heavily." "Why, are you seeing things?" "No, not at all, Doctor. Thank you for your time." "All right. If you need us, just call us. I expect a checkup here next week, next Thursday. Is 11:30 in the morning okay with you?" Yes, that's fine, Doctor. Thank you." "All right. You have a good day, sir." "You too." I walk off, get back in my car, and start driving. As I head back to the hotel, I begin to question reality itself, and what I know is real is now being shattered by this voice. It is just a voice, I told myself, so how is it that it grabbed me? How is it that it slammed me up against the mirror? As I continue to question, in front of my face, I hear the words, "Die, die, die." My windshield shatters, cracks all over the place. I can't see. I begin to veer off the road, and I fly off, hitting the border wall, flying off a cliff. And that is the last anyone had ever heard of me. This is my story, and I am the voice. Die.